Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today is the first time I'm recording in my shop here at Bright Hall, so I'm hoping that it sounds okay out here. But one of the reasons I came out here to test out this environment is because the book I've got, or I should say the publication I've got, the new issue 43 of Smoke Signal, is such a big tabloid size thing. I needed a larger environment to film in so I could capture the whole thing. So I've got a big work table out here, and we'll see if this sounds good and if this works. So yeah, Smoke Signal 43. Smoke Signal is a free thing that gets put out by Desert Island Comics. If you're not going and picking it up from them, at least as far as I know, it used to be. Then they send it out to some other places. I got this from Wig Shop, Web Shop for $10. And these are usually pretty cool. Typically the ones I've seen are collections of a single artist. This one I went ahead and got because it's a collection of just like a who's who name of like one-page comic strips in an anthology format. So a really cool book. And I'm just going to flip through the whole thing because this is available for free, but I think it's also a limited edition, and just show you everyone who's in here, and then maybe you can go Partners and Sons, Wig Shop, Web Shop, places like that, and get yourself a copy. So the cover here is by Olivier Schrouen. Then we have a Charles Burns kind of pinup on the inside. So you see right out the gate, we're really dealing with heavy hitters. A very, very nice, it looks like a wood block cut, and we're seeing the actual wood matrix rather than a print. This is done by John Vasquez Mejas. Did the table of contents. So even the table of contents like this really cool hand done thing. Let's see who, I'm gonna not know who all the artists are. Oh, Art Spiegelman, right out the gate here. We've got Art Spiegelman, looks like something out of his sketchbook. Then you've got some Zippy comics by Bill Griffith, Baptiste Viro, Anna Haffish. Got a piece by Mark Bell. I really like the style of this Mark Bell stuff. Piece by Matthew Thurber. Michael DeForge. I'm always excited for a new Michael DeForge. One of the reasons I got this. Really enjoy this piece here by John Broadley. I feel like this is a name I've heard before, but I can't connect it to any other projects. But really enjoy the style here. It looks like this artist is, John Broadley, is also relying more on the kind of just piecing out the red, the yellow, and the blue. So it has a really nice like woodblock kind of graphics to it. Really like this panel as well. Really awesome spread by Anders Nilsson. So again, heavy hitters. Sammy Harkham's got two pieces, including a Little Orphan Annie in Los Angeles. A Lael Westvind piece. So just like, it's pretty much everyone that I've been super excited about on the channel for the last couple of years all in one place. A Walter Scott piece. That's not someone I'm familiar with. Juliette Collette, Dash Shaw. I mean, come on. Spiegelman, Shaw, Westvind, Maria Medem. I still need to get Zenith. I really like Maria Medem stuff. It's just now that I'm being a little more stingy with what I buy, the certain things like this with less story kind of have to go out the gate, the more formal stuff. But I really love Maria Medem's work, so this is totally worth it to get another piece to tide me over until I can get the copy of Zenith. Gary Panter here. This looks more like a sketchbook page, but you could spend a lot of time with that. A lot of fun cartoons going on in there. In the middle of the book is a big spread by Heather Benjamin. This kind of reminds me of like a Henry Darger vibe type of thing. I'm not familiar with this artist, but it's a really cool piece. Definitely would like to see some sequential work. Really like the aesthetic of this. And then a piece by Margot Farrick right here, getting put next to Chris Ware. That's a hell of an honor to be next to someone as like entrenched in the canon as Chris Ware. This is the real reason that I realized I needed to get this, is I saw that this Chris Ware piece, I think it was just this piece was nominated for an Eisner as like best single page comic or something like that. So that made me take a look at this issue of Smoke Signal and realize what like a who's who it really is. And so I went out of my way to get it. But interesting to see Chris Ware here almost doing like political cartooning. Still very Chris Ware overall, but just some fun deviations from his style, something a little bit more realistic here, more just color and shape than line work. So a really cool, interesting piece to get. And yeah, like I said, this is what led me to looking at this and then realizing, oh my God, it's full of so many people. I had to get it. Dame Darcy, little 4-page piece here. Abraham Diaz. This right here is by Kevin Huyman, I believe is how you say the name. And then James Tonra. These are both artists I was unfamiliar with prior to this, but really enjoy. I mean, you can see these are like super detailed dents on both of these. So really enjoyed these. These are artists that I looked up on Instagram and will follow up on. Really, especially like the style on this piece. I'm not sure how it was made. It looks like it might have been like scratched out. I don't know. Maybe it's just ballpoint pen with coloring. It's hard to tell. It's really, really dense work. John Porcellino. And then a piece by Angela Funch, I believe is how you say the name. Ron Reggie Jr. This is somebody whose style I really like, but I've always had a really hard time reading the books. But yeah, style I really like. Then Brian Blomarth, who I just did a video on recently. Really love the style, really love the focus on the psychedelics. And yeah, this is another just really cool entry in this magazine. Carolyn Cash piece. So you see you've got a real spread too of like newer up-and-comers versus someone like Art Spiegelman or Chris Ware, who's totally in the canon. We have a Jordan Crane over here. Very excited that Jordan Crane's Goes Like This just came out. And so excited to have another piece. One of the other few Smoke Signal issues I got was a Jordan Crane, like all the way through compilation that overlapped a little bit with some of the Goes Like This content. But it's cool to have them in both formats, and there was some different between the two. I think Jordan's work, because he's so aware of like preparing things for press, you know, really take advantage of like overlapping the colors of the ink here and things like that, and then it looks really, really nice on this newsprint quality paper. And then we get Ashton Carlos and Floyd Tangeman. I haven't seen anything new from either of these creators in a while. I guess I'd have to go back and check in with like Jaywalk Comics and all that and see how they're doing, but nice to see that that group's still going and really making some awesome work and kind of getting themselves in with everybody else. And then Nate Garcia and Gabriel Bell. So you see you have a real wide range of type of comics, from the autobio to these completely strange surreal comics. Love that color on that elephant too. Looks really nice on this paper. And then you have Julie Doucette and Jillian Tamaki. Very, very interesting to see Jillian Tamaki doing. Then you have Julie Doucette and Jillian Tamaki. Really interesting to see Jillian Tamaki like flexing different muscles. This all looks like hand sewn little, almost like quilt patchwork kind of thing. So really, really cool to see an artist who I just absolutely love their cartooning work in a totally different mode. I think that's one of the nice things about something like this. It's almost like a soundtrack where you can have an artist kind of playing and cutting loose a little bit from what their normal style is. So really enjoy seeing that kind of thing. And then the back cover here is by Charlotte Plessier, I believe is how you say it. So a really awesome little 40-page condensed, like I said, almost a soundtrack of like one-page experimental hits from a who's who, old and new creators. It's if you can find yourself a copy, it's really worth however much the stores are charging for it. And I believe if you stop by Desert Island Comics in New York, you can just get one for free. So a really cool little document. Really glad I have it. Being on the newspaper and stuff, who knows how well this is going to preserve, but very, very excited to have this copy of Smoke Signal 43. See if you can get yourself one.
Turning all the soil as the palm sister.